Hi, this is Professor Monty. Let's learn what the Pythagorean Theorem is and use it in an application. So the Pythagorean Theorem says for any right triangle, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are legs and c is the hypotenuse of the triangle. So I drew a picture up here. So these are going to be a and b. These are going to be the legs. The right angle here in the corner, signified by that box, that's the right angle or the 90-degree angle. The line straight across from that is always the hypotenuse. That's going to be the longest leg. So we call C the hypotenuse. But the hypotenuse is always the one across from the 90-degree angle. Okay, so a couple examples. A right triangle has legs of 4 inches and 5 inches. Find the hypotenuse. So we could draw this. It's going to look something like this. So this is going to be 4 inches. This is going to be 5 inches. This is the hypotenuse. That we don't know. But we know a squared plus b squared equals c squared because it's a right triangle. Well, one of these is a, one's b. It doesn't matter. We'll call this one a. So it's 4 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. So I get 16 plus 25 equals c squared. So what's that? 41 equals c squared, but we want c, so I'm going to take the square root. Remember, usually when I put the square root by myself on both sides, I do plus or minus. C is a distance. It has to be positive. So I'm not going to put the plus or minus. So C is equal to the square root of 41. Well, how big is that? Well, I know the square root of 49 is 7. The square root of 36 is 6. So it's somewhere between 6 and 7. That's an irrational number. I would simplify this if I could, but it's going to be 41. The square root of 41 inches will be the hypotenuse. Okay, let's look at another. A 10-foot ladder is 6 feet from a building and leaning against the building. How high does the ladder reach up the building? So it looks something like this. Here's my building over here. I've got a ladder at ground level leaning up against the building. And this is 6 feet away. The ladder itself is 10 feet. And I'm trying to find this distance here. So how high does that come in this direction? All right, so let's try to find it. Well, that gives me a right angle right here. So it's a right triangle, so I can use the Pythagorean theorem. So I know a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and I can plug things in. Well, this one's the hypotenuse. It's across from the 90-degree angle. I'm going to call this x. So let's call that a. So I get x squared plus 6 squared equals 10 squared. Make sure you put everything in the right place. Again, the x and the 6 can be switched, but the hypotenuse, the one with the 90-degree angle, has to be the 10 in this case. So I get x squared plus 36 equals 100. Subtract 36. X squared equals, what's that going to be, 64. Oh, that works out nice. Take the square root this time. Again, I'm not going to say plus or minus. The square root of 64 is just 8. I get x equals 8, and it was feet, so the ladder up the building is 8 feet tall, and one of our what we call a Pythagorean triple are the numbers 6, 8, and 10. So that's one you'll probably get used to seeing. But anyway, that's the idea. That's how we work it. Just remember which one is the hypotenuse, and remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared only if it's a right triangle.